Good evening, scissor-wielding friends and strangers. This is Sarah from Pegasus Paper Co. And I'm here today to share a very small project with you. I've seen a lot of people in the junk journaling community lately working on grief journals, and I know that a lot of us have lost people in this last year, and if not people, some of us lost cherished pets, and others have lost more ephemeral things that are a bit harder to pin down in words, but I think a lot of people have felt some sort of grief. So I wanted to make a little grief ATC card that I could give to all of you to use in journals. If you've lost someone or a creature of any kind really who's been dear to you, I've included a place where you could write a message to commemorate them or a letter to them, whatever you like. And if you've lost something else, you can leave this paper blank until you feel that you have the words to honor it in some way, in whatever way you see fit. This little kit here is available to you for free on my website as a download. You can print it out and make it if you like, and I will put a link to that in the comments below. It's a pretty easy one, so I'll just jump in and get started. I'm not going to embellish it much because I am traveling and far from my studio, so I'm going to leave the embellishment part up to your imaginations, but I will just quickly demonstrate the assembly so that you can put together your own at home. I'm going to push these out of the way for just a moment. All right, here we go. And since I don't have a craft board here, this paper will just help me not make a total mess of things. All right, so let's begin. The kit itself comes with a sample of one way that you can put everything together, and we're actually going to use this sample as the back of the card. So this will use as the front of the card. I'm going to just quickly glue these two pieces together. Now all you'll need for this part of the project, once you've printed and cut out the bits, is just a glue stick of any kind. Okay, so we'll start out by just gluing this, putting glue all over the back of this. And we're just going to attach these two pieces together and press firmly. Now if you're at home with all of your supplies, you can use a brayer or flatten this with a credit card or whatever you like, but I'm just going to casually glue this together. Okay. Next, we will add some elements to our little collage. So here we've got this little beautiful Victorian woman and a young girl with their little dog. Dogs have historically in her work represented faith, fidelity, loyalty, things like that, and they seem to be weeping and waving goodbye to something just out of frame. So that seems like a good thing to start with for our little grief card. Or let's call it our card for letting go, shall we? Alright, so first I'm just going to glue that down on the picture here. Actually, I'm going to move it up a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we've got our little symbol of letting go. And it's night, that gives it a bit of a mournful air. Now this little piece in your kit is actually a print and fold miniature envelope. So you're just going to fold in the flaps on the side here, just like that. Fold this bit down, turn it over, and where you have those two little tiny flaps on the side, you're just going to place a little bit of glue and then press it closed to seal the envelope. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. There we are, and I'm just going to press the little envelope closed, go along it with a fingernail. And there we have it, a tiny little envelope where you can store it. Something that you don't want to share with anyone who happens to see your journal, but that is meaningful for you. Maybe it's a little memory or a kind of secret feeling about what you've let go or lost, or who you may be missing. You can put their name in there. I'm going to attach this here, but I really love the picture underneath, and I'm a bit undecided about covering it up. So what I'm actually going to do is just grab one of these little strips of marbled end paper, and let's see, where are my scissors? I'll use some garden shears. These were a gift from some dear friends, Heidi, Dan, and Delilah, and they have a wonderful YouTube channel for junk journaling, so I'm going to put a link to them at the bottom. They're the ones who taught me about using garden shears to cut fine details out of paper, and they were right, it's pretty amazing. So I definitely recommend doing something like that if you've been looking for better scissors. They don't hurt your fingers. Isn't that neat? I don't know what brand these are, but they're really cool. So I'll put a link to their YouTube channel if you'd like to meet them. They're wonderful people and really great crafters. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a little piece of this marbled end paper out, and what I'm going to do is use it as a bit of a hinge to just attach the envelope to the image without covering too much of it up. So I'm just going to fold this in half, right, and I'll put a bit of glue on the back. And folding it again. So our little hinge, I'm going to glue half of it to the envelope back. Okay, and then I'll just glue the other half down on the image here. And now I can lift the envelope whenever I need to access what's inside of it more easily. Ooh, and it looks like I didn't glue that side down properly. This is why you always want to clip your gluey bits whenever you can. But of course I don't have clips here because I'm on the road. So there we are. That's that. We've got a little envelope and we've got our little group of mourners here. Okay, next let's add this little bottle with a ship inside. Yeah, we'll put it here. I like that it hides a bit behind the envelope, so I'm going to put some glue on there. Now, of course, I'm demonstrating this with a specific kit that I'm giving away for free, but you could really do this sort of project with absolutely anything that you have lying around. Objects that have personal significance, things that maybe the lost one gave you, items that remind you of something special about them. It could be anything you want, really. All right, so we've got that, and now I think I'm going to put a bit of marbled paper for color and this lovely quote here that says, let's see how to get this in frame, "None are truly lost who live in our hearts." So that's appropriate for a grief journal, isn't it? All right, let's put some glue on that. Put that on the blue paper. This all comes in the kit, by the way, so you'll have all of these. They're all free in the printable. All right, and I think I want to put that maybe right around here. Yeah. Okay. So I'll put a bit of glue on the back and just place it there. And with this extra bit of tab here, I'm going to just fold it down into a loop so I could put maybe, I don't know, a tassel or something through when I get home. And for now, I'll just glue a little bit of the edge to the back just to hold it in place. Okay, there we go. Now I think that's good for the front, although I'll probably add a secret little note there later. Now let's just address the back for a moment, shall we? Now the back was, I cut out the sample from this printable of one of the options of how you could align everything, but we're going to cover this up because I want it to be a little bit different. So let's see, maybe we'll put some marbled paper here to just reinforce the water metaphor. Okay, I'm going to glue this little strip, and it's okay if it sticks off the end, we can trim it when we're all finished with the assembly here. Okay, so I'll glue the marbled paper down first, a little bit right there. Now some people like to tear the edges of paper. If I had my inks with me, I would be inking the edges to give it a bit of an antique look. You can do whatever you like to any piece of paper you want. And then I'm going to put this here because I think I'd like to write a little special something for this grief journal. Okay, so I'm going to glue this. If you can hear the skittering above, it's probably just the wolves running. All right, here we go. Glue that down there. Lovely. And I've got another version of the same quote. None are truly lost who live in our hearts. So I'm going to glue that down on the back just to remind me what this really is all about, no matter what side I'm looking at. Okay, bit of glue. And put that there. Okay. I just love glue sticks. It's just such an easy material to work with. Okay, and I've got this bit left. It's a little ship, so I'll put that at the bottom. There we are. Okay, now I've got all of these extra little bits of marbled paper, and I think I'll probably turn those into bookmarks, which you can do by just folding them in half, poking a hole, maybe putting a little eyelet on, and a tassel if you like. You can laminate them, you can do whatever you want with them. But that is it for our little card. So as you can see, we now have a little grief journal ATC card, which, oh, I didn't trim it. Always remember to trim. Okay, so you see the white edges at the end. Let's just snip those off. There we have it. A beautiful grief journal card with room for a name or tiny message and some thoughts, a quote, anything that will add a bit of memorialization to your journal. And if you haven't lost anyone, that's wonderful. You can make this about any kind of loss or anyone you miss, someone far away, a loved one, long lost love, whatever you like. There you have it.